So hello friends, welcome back to our channel Open Geology. Today in this video we are going to talk about the rock level pyrolysis. So it is one of the important geochemical analysis in terms of petroleum exploration. So wherever we have the uh, rocks which can be a good source rock for oil and gas, we can do the rock level pyrolysis. So let us go with our website, that is opengeology.in, and here you can see there is a search box. So let's search the rock level pyrolysis. I have already did it. Okay, so here is the article. Now let's click on it and let's see how it is, what it is. So the rock level pyrolysis is widely used geochemical technique in the petroleum exploration point of view and in the organic chemistry. So it provides a valuable information on quantity, how much quantity of gas can be present, what type of gas can be present, and what is the thermal maturity of that particular organic matter. Okay, and it helps the geologist to assess the hydrocarbon generation potential of that rock. So now let us go deep in the process. And the rock level pyrolysis is involves the uh, you can say the heating of the sample. So we do heating and the certain things will happen. So there are two phases when we heat organic material or the rock. So the first phase is the pyrolysis phase, which happens from 300 degree to 650 degree Celsius, and the another one is that is more than 650 degree Celsius. So in the first phase, the organic matter which is present in the rock, it will break down and release hydrocarbon and carbon dioxide gas, and this phase measures the hydrocarbon potential of the rock. Then we have the second phase, that is oxidation phase, and this phase determines the total organic carbon, that is TOC, and we will use both of them to see how graphs are plotted and how we interpret it. Okay, then there is a formula for the generation of hydrocarbon potential, that is HP. It is combination of S1 and S2. Now what are these S1 and S2? S1 is the free hydrocarbon which is already present in the rock, and its unit is milligram hydrocarbon per gram of rocks. Then you have S2, that is hydrocarbon which is generated after breakdown of kerogens. So we have two type of hydrocarbons. First, that is already generated in the rock, and as we heat up it will released, and the second is which is not present, but as the kerogen will break it will create hydrocarbons, so that is the S2 second. Then how we interpret these S1 and S2? Now in case of S1, it represents the pre-existing free hydrocarbons in the rock, and it gives value indicate about the maturity and oil prone areas. Then the S2 interpretation we do like, it indicates the hydrocarbon potential of kerogen, how much hydrocarbons can be generated, and if the value of S2 is higher, it suggests a good source rock. Then we go with the total organic carbon, TOC. It is measured in terms of percentage. Okay, so if we have the TOC percent less than 0.5, it says that our source rock quality is not good, and 0.5 to 1 it is fair, 1 to 2 it is good, and more than 2 it is excellent source rock. Okay, now let us see some derived parameters. Okay, based on these S1, S2, what things can we derive in? Okay, let me zoom this part first. Okay, now it is better. So we have the two indexes, HI, that is hydrogen index, and OI, that is oxygen index. Now these two indexes are used for the classification of kerogen type. Okay, so let us see how they are calculated. H1 is calculated by H2 divided by TOC, that is total organic carbon, into 100. Okay, and similarly OI will be calculated as H3 divided by TOC into 100. Now if HI value is high, it indicates an oil prone kerogen, means the kerogen which is present is capable of producing more oil than gases. Then if the OI, that is oxygen index, is high, it suggests a gas prone oxidizing organic matter. Okay, so let us see if we plot these two in a graph. You can see the hydrogen index in the y-axis, oxygen index on the x-axis. So if there is high hydrogen index, it is kerogen 1, and you know the kerogen classification, kerogen 1, 2 and 3, how what is the primary material which forms this type of kerogen. So high hydrogen index means the kerogen 1 is present and it is more oil prone. While if they are more or less similar, that means the kerogen type 2 and both oil and gas can be present. Now if there is kerogen 3, we have more gas prominent areas than the oil areas. So this is the graph which is very important in terms of analysis. Then you have the Tmax, that is maximum temperature. It indicates the thermal maturity. Now HI, hydrogen index, and oxygen index measures the type of kerogen, and Tmax indicates the maturity indicator. And what is Tmax? Tmax is the S2 peak. So there are three peaks. S1, okay, that is whatever hydrocarbon already present, it will evaporate. Then we have the S2 peak, which is formed by the breakdown of kerogen and hydrocarbon release, that is S2. Then we have the S3 peak, that is release of CO2. So S2 will have the maximum temperature. So this is the Tmax. So Tmax is the temperature which S2 reaches at its peak. Now let us see how this Tmax represent the maturity stage. So if Tmax is less than 435, we consider it is immature and no significant oil as gas can be produced. If it is 435 to 450, that means it is in the early maturity phase and oil window can be reached. Then we have 450 to 470, it means the peak maturity, oil and gas both can be present. If it is more than 470 degrees Celsius, that means it is more post maturity, even it have crossed the maturity limit. Now it will produce the dry gas areas. And these can also be plotted as a graph. So here is our second graph, it is hydrogen index and it is the Tmax pyrolysis, Tmax temperature. So based on this we can even another classification, type 1 kerogen, type 2, 3 and type 3. So this is the oil window zone, this is the gas window zone, and these are the dry gases based on the temperature Tmax. Okay, so this is another graph we use for the source rock classification and the maturity. Now let us see what are the applications. So it is one of the important analysis. So there are many applications, like in the petroleum exploration, it identifies the potential source rock. We know how the hydrogen index and oxygen index are used, and evaluation their hydrocarbon potential, and it also determines the maturity levels to assess oil and gas generation with the help of Tmax. Then unconventional resources, shale oil and shale gases. Now what are the unconventional resources? So conventional resources are where oil and gas is already present and we can easily extract them. Now in case oil and gas is in a reservoir rock which has less porosity and permeability, then it is difficult to extract them, and these hydrocarbons are known as the unconventional resources. So shale oil and shale gases, these are unconventional because shale has the less permeability. Okay, now for unconventional resources, it evaluates the kerogen type, total organic content. Now this TOC has another formula, just give me 1 second. Okay, so the total organic carbon can be calculated as TOC is equal to 0.082 S1 plus S2, okay, then plus S4, then complete this equation will be divided by 10. Okay, this is how we can calculate the TOC, total organic carbon. Okay, then for unconventional resources, it helps in estimation the recoverable hydrocarbons